folks, you know who it is. Your favorite person's favorite person here with another rock star. You know, nothing but the best here anyway. Before I bring this person up, because we're going to have a great conversation, but I am talking about rock star human being, real estate icon, and someone that if you did not know them before, you absolutely should know them now. Without further ado, put your hands, feet together if you're able for Mr. Jordan Kavana. Jordan, how you feeling today? How you doing?
Feeling great. Thank you, Stan. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate such a huge introduction. Now I'm going to have big shoes to fill.
No problem at all. They are ready. They are ready for you. I know. But I like to, let folks know, like, hey, I'm not underselling this at all. And it's always great to be connected with great human beings. And as I let you know before this, right now, I'm going to ask you to brag on yourself unapologetically, like hold nothing back. Let us know just how awesome Jordan is.
I appreciate that. Well, let me start off by what's most important. I'm going to brag about having a wife and 4 kids, and of course, I'm very blessed to have that. I have a wonderful supporting family. I have my health, which is very, very important, and I'm surrounded by a loving team of committed professionals to a mission and a vision that's just huge, stratospheric. And I say that because when I started this business in 2008, meaning the single family rental space, I really thought that this was just an opportunity to make a little money. And the more that I got into it, I started realizing that what we're doing matters, and it matters a lot because you're putting a roof over people's heads, you're giving them shelter, and then that evolved into something a lot bigger and a lot more important, which was, wait a second, if we're going to be giving shelter to people, we need to make these environments great. We need to give them new homes, not older homes. We need to give them programs, products, services that are going to speak to their health and to optimizing their health. And so, it's a long way of saying, Stan, that while I'd love to brag about me, but really I need to brag about the mission that I'm on and not necessarily about myself, because that is what I'm most proud of. I'm proud of being able to give people the tools, the resources, the education insofar as how they're going to make their lives better in a measured way, both from, of course, having shelter, but also most importantly, about how they're going to improve their health outcomes for them, for their family, for their loved ones. So I'm very proud about that.
Thank you for sharing that and the transparency in which you shared it. And I'd like to go deeper if you don't mind. I don't know if you see this in you, but it's you're almost a pioneer in terms of wanting to make sure that that health and wellness component is there for families. What is there anything that specifically inspired you to make sure that that was a focal point for you and your team to move forward with when it came to this industry and single family rental homes?
Usually I get my best inspirations from as an offshoot of a frustration that I have. And I had observed for a long time. I'm originally from Latin America, and I grew up with the mentality of, as it relates to health, you don't wait for things to happen and then start putting a bunch of drugs into your body. You do things preventatively, right? And so you get ahead of them by by making lifestyle choices that are going to lead to better outcomes and frankly to prevent things from happening. And so I thought about that a lot, and I said to myself, why is it that in the United States, all of these things that are low hanging fruit and affordable and accessible are marketed to the 1% as something that should be very expensive and not accessible? So things like mental health, nutrition, movement, diagnostics, these are all things that are absolutely affordable, but there's huge businesses in America that have made huge businesses out of saying, well, you have to be the 1% to have this. And so I said, no, no, no. We're going to turn that on its head. We're going to teach people who are, I'm not going to say entry level, but who are upwardly mobile. We're going to teach them how they can access all of this by first educating them, then negotiating contracts for products and services that were marketed to the 1%, but we're going to make them affordable and accessible for the 99%, which is who we work with. And so, yeah, I was frustrated. I said, this is bullshit, quite frankly. We're going to turn this around. and we're going to give it to everyone. And so that's what we're doing.
Thank you. Now, do you feel like was there any pushback? And if so, from where? Because I know when we're talking about, real estate, there's obviously it's a place where folks can make money, and some people look past opportunities and certainly may look past safety, health, and wellness. Did you find that there is any, pushback as you begin on this mission to, to help educate folks along their experience in living?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's still a little bit early days. We have between our single family company and our sister company, which does multifamily, we have close to 100,000 residents. So that's a huge population to speak to. We have just started speaking to the first 5%, so about 5,000 units or 5,000 residents. Um, I don't think there's pushback for there to be free education because that's how we do it. It is free. I don't think that there's pushback or there hasn't been pushback for kind of an entry level price point insofar as how we offer preventative health and wellness. Just as an example, we have 6 pillars in health and wellness that we focus on. So things like movement, nutrition, diagnostics, etc., mental health. So if you want to have access to all of those pillars on a monthly basis, it'll cost you $20. Now, if I were to break those up and say to you, you can go on the App Store and get apps for each one of these, you're going to spend well in excess of $100 a month. So it's not, we don't have enough data to say that there's pushback, but what I do know is that when we've tested this and we've said to people, you can get individual apps or you can do it through us, ARK Living, people say, wow, this is a huge value. And so I think if we speak a year from now, we're going to show a greater than 50% conversion rate.
I love that. So let's say if someone's watching this right now and they're tuned in a little bit, but aren't as familiar with what it means to have health and wellness. When you said the word diagnostic, for someone who's listening, what might that mean for them? How can they, have a diagnostic? What does it mean? And how can they activate that as they get get to know you better?
Yeah, so let me take you through the customer journey or the renter journey. You sign a lease with us, you get a home, and we say, hey, by the way, here's an app. It's called Arc Living app. By the way, in that app, you can pay your rent, you can put maintenance requests, you can talk to fellow residents in the community, and you can also do all these services. You can also get access to these products and services I'm talking about. Well, one of those products or services is diagnostics, just because you're asking about that. Well, what does that mean? Hey, I need to get blood work because my insurance company is requiring it, or I want to get blood work just because I want to analyze my blood, or for whatever reason. Rather than you having to go to like a LabCorp or one of these large companies where they're going to give you an appointment that's a month out and it's going to cost you because your insurance won't necessarily cover everything. We've pre-negotiated rates with companies so that you can get in and get it done. If you are willing to pay a premium, they'll come to your home and do it, and B, you will control that information. A lot of times for diagnostics, that information is resold. So what we're saying is, listen, resident, we want you in this home that we're providing you, we want you to own your experience and your information. And we want you to take the data from your blood work. We're going to work with you to help you understand what it means. And then we're going to benchmark. And every quarter, let's come back and say, hey, how are you doing? Are these things that you're doing to improve your lifestyle actually helping your health? We think that matters to people. So that's why we're doing it.
1,000,000%. And so you said 100,000 residents, correct?
Correct.
Across which states, in just one particular place, if someone's thinking like, how do I become a part of one of these communities, where might you be located right now as you all grow?
So our single family platform, ARK Homes for Rent, and our multifamily sister company, which is called American Landmark, we are throughout the Sun Belt in Texas. So Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, Tennessee, and several markets in Texas. The best way, if somebody wants to rent a home with us, is to go on our website, ARK Homes for Rent, and they'll be able to see the different locations. And we're happy to have them.
That's amazing. So, in terms of now assets, what's different if I'm like, hey, I see this apartment complex, so I'm going to go to the apartment complex versus ARC Homes? I know you've spoken to that a bit, but for folks that may just now be hopping onto your radar, go, oh wow, this is brand new. What is something that folks would absolutely receive, that maybe you've already stated, maybe restated, go a little bit deeper as to, hey, I'm that's what something I need to be a part of because it seemed like a lifestyle shift.
Yeah, yeah, it is, Dan. Well, so first of all, just for clarification, we are not in the apartment business. We're in the single family home business. It's either detached single family homes or townhouses. So just starting there, if you're a typical multifamily renter, you're going to have majority of these communities will have, one bedrooms, two bedrooms. In single family rental living, the majority of the units are three bedrooms plus. So by default, you're getting about 15 to 20% more square footage in single family living relative to apartment living. Secondly, ARK Homes for Rent is the only platform nationally that exclusively owns and operates brand new homes. What we do is we work with the country's best builders, mostly public home builders, as well as very large privates, and we will take their product, we will buy it from them, we will amenitize it and program it so that it's a rental living experience. And so it's a brand new home. When a renter comes to us and they're comparing like this apartment versus this home, or even somebody else's home versus ours, there's three key things that are clear right away. Number one, it's brand new, it's under warranty, so every issue that they have, our home builder partners are going to take care of it. Number two, they're getting a holistic health and wellness living experience. From the day you move in with us, we got you. We're going to talk to you. We're going to help improve. By the way, as much as you want us to. If you're not interested in that, well, guess what? There's enough value in having a great brand new home as it is. And the third thing is, as a company, a lot of landlords, they're in it for the cash flow, as are we. We're not a non for profit by any stretch. But I would say, as a company, our culture is built around giving back. How do we optimize these people's lives in the best way possible while we're making some money? Because, of course, we're in the business. And you will find that from a customer service standpoint, we're on top of it. We will take care of you.
Whoa. Number one, thank you for all of that. So, a couple thoughts. Number one, this is amazing. And I think most people who
Thank you.
watch this and come across this will go, because what's missing now, obviously, we're all in this we're all in this world that's been, pandemic and the mental stress that's been happening to folks. And the major component that happens uh, when you're able to provide health and wellness and a holistic living experience is a question from Deanna. With the price of homes going up, is it difficult? It's difficult for families to get homes. Does it assist in low income families?
So with the prices of homes going up, it's difficult for folks to buy homes, which is why our business is thriving because we are making new homes that people would only be able to get historically if they bought them. We're making them available and attainable through a rental program. So that is where we do well. We as a rental company, we actually do have rental assistance programs that we offer our residents. We have a few different programs, and so let's just say that if our average rent is $2,000 a month and you qualify for like 1,800, there's a program there that can help you bridge that gap, and we will do that with you.
Awesome, great, great. So to get to know you a little bit better, what's something that I do have a big question for you after this one, but what's something that most people don't know about you? That you think they should know? It'd be cool if they knew.
Sure. I'm a pretty private person, and just the fact that I'm doing this is a big deal, Stan. So kudos to you because you have an amazing platform yourself.
Thank you.
Um, I think, people that really know me, they know this. I am the most curious person you'll ever meet. I can have conversations with anybody, up and down, side to side. It doesn't matter what you do, where you come from, or who you are. I want to know about you. I want to know how you do what you do, how you became an expert, and so I'm eternally curious. But the punchline is because of that curiosity, I tend to just suck up information like crazy. I read, I ask, I listen. And I think that that has been one of the biggest contributors to my success. I find that, of course, there's all these wonderful books that talk about 10,000 hours to be an expert in any specific thing. Um, I think it's more than that. I think that you always have to listen a lot more than you speak, and it's amazing where life will take you. So that's kind of an interesting thing about me.
Thank you for sharing that. I wrote that down as a note, and that's read, ask, listen. Like that, that's a TED talk, a TEDx talk, and a bunch of other talks all on its own, and the power and how it can create an amazing human being that grows. And here's my last one. I like to call it my $1 billion question, if you will. And that's what's something that you wish people would ask you, but they never do.
um, you know, a few people have asked me like, why are you still doing this? Right? You've done well. Depending on whose definition it is, you've made it. And I kind of have this philosophy that um, you can only have one breakfast a day. So it doesn't matter if you make 100,000 or 100 million. We can also have that same one breakfast. So you got to answer to yourself, well, why am I doing this then? Right? When is enough? So the question that I would love for people to ask me is, well, then why are you doing this? And here's the answer. I get so much more fulfillment and excitement out of inspiring, nourishing, growing, and causing for people around me to make money over me adding, some more bucks to my account. Don't get me wrong. I want to be paid for my time, of course, but
Yes.
I love seeing people around me grow. It's really what drives me. That's my passion.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that answer. It's powerful. Another note worth taking. And for those of y'all who, let's say those folks who may not be in your market, let's say they already have a home, but they're saying this is amazing. How can they either be supportive, spread the word? Like, what would make your life easier? If someone from the outside looking in is saying, "Yeah, how can we help grow this?"
Listen, I'm willing to give you my email, to give anybody my email. And the best way is let's connect the dots together. Reach out. Tell me what you need. Is it a home? Is it a referral? Is it a program you have in mind? Let's talk. As I said, listen, listen, listen. I'm willing to talk to everybody.
Thank you so very much for your time. And thank you for talking to me, Jordan Kavana. I really appreciate you taking the time. I can tell, is someone who is an achiever and someone who listens quite a bit, that it's really important that you're diving into your work. So taking the time like this means a lot to me as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on. It's an honor.
Anytime. Any last thoughts that you like to share with anyone who might be watching, listening, or hearing this at some point? Any final thoughts for them?
It's all about the grind. Just keep doing it. There's no magic bullet. You just gotta work your tail off every day. That's the most important message.
I absolutely love that. And no, hey, folks, you heard from Jordan for okay. There's no bad. Stop trying to do the easy way. There's no easy way. It's just the way. And ultimately, folks, understanding that effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. And read, ask, and listen more, and watch where your life should go. Thank you so very much again, Jordan, for the time. For all of you all watching, listening, or coming across this, I believe that your life has just been changed a little bit. And remember to go to ARK Homes for rent. And there'll be links in the bios and description everywhere else so you can check this out or forward it to someone that this could serve in a major way. And this may inspire all of you to live a more holistic life full of more health and wellness. And this is wishing you peace, love, health, wealth, and happiness. My name is Sam Pearson II. You heard it here first. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.